Hello everyone, I'm Charlie Cradaville. I'm the Central Jersey organizer at Food and Water Watch, and we're gathered here today outside Congressman Tom Kean Jr.'s office to remind him that there is no safe level of lead in water.
That's right.
It impacts children especially. It's especially dangerous and has lifelong harms to human health. And the truth is, we don't need another Flint water crisis. We definitely don't need another Newark water crisis. And there's no need to revoke the lead and copper rule improvements.
Right, you're right.
Doing so would be devastating to every state in the union because the EPA would not be able to reissue a rule requiring timely replacement of lead service lines. The prior version of the lead and copper rule was actually weakened, and it's still the subject of a court case where New Jersey's Attorney General is fighting to protect clean water. New Jersey's been a leader on this issue. New Jersey already has a lead service line replacement law in effect. We still have to replace our lead pipes by law. But if Congress rolls back the latest improvements to the lead and copper rule, New Jersey water systems will still have to replace their pipes, but they will lose resources and support. So if this joint resolution passes, it will mean a higher burden for New Jersey. So keeping this historic rule in place will help marshal federal resources to support compliance with New Jersey's existing law. One other thing about this rule is it means a lower action level. That means that it will take, if this rule is rolled back, it will take a 15 parts per billion result to trigger action instead of 10 parts per billion. That means less action, less replacement of lead service lines, and less investigations of the health impacts into the people affected. And that's everywhere. Our schools are required to test for lead in their water in New Jersey, and they won't be taking action if this rollback happens for those readings above 10 parts per billion. And of course, every water system in New Jersey, thanks to the lead and copper rule, has to test for lead, and that lower action level is a good thing. Rolling it back to 15 parts per billion will ultimately mean more people being poisoned by lead in their drinking water. And so at this time, I want to thank everybody who came out today to advocate to keep the lead and copper rule improvements in place. And I want to give a special shout out and hear a few words from one of Food and Water Watch's volunteer leaders. She's also the co-founder of the TNEC Peace and Justice Vigil, and someone who taught in our public schools for 44 years. So I wanted to ask everybody to please give a warm welcome to Paula Rogovin.
We're here to tell the Congressman Kean, don't mess with the federal regulations, the federal standards for copper and lead. Don't mess with those regulations. Don't reduce them. Yeah, I did teach for 44 years, first grade, kindergarten kids. They're the ones, the young kids are the ones who will feel the greatest impact from lowering of standards. It causes brain damage. It causes learning disabilities. It's just pure evil and wrong to reduce those standards. All of us here, many of us have been involved in fighting for regulations about one thing or another in the environment. We know how hard it is to get a single regulation approved. The hearings, the comment period, all those things. And these folks are trying to reduce the regulations like that?
For what reason?
For what reason? And then we will have the work of getting these back. You can't just turn them on again. So this is a really important fight. It's really, really important. And we're here to wage that battle. My young students, kindergarten and first graders, did research about the paint in our classroom. We were in an old building in New York City. We did research about paint, and because they wanted to. And we then learned about lead in paint, not in water, but in paint. And they learned about the dangers of lead in paint. We interviewed people, we talked to people about it. We went to a paint store and saw that all of the paints on the shelf no longer have lead. We taught them that's because people fought to get these regulations banning lead in paint, like people fought for the regulations around lead in pipes. So I wanted them to learn that for every change that's positive, there has to be a fight. We have to fight for it. No one's handing it to us. So I hope I raised a whole bunch of little fighters, now adults or teenagers. To even think about lowering the standards, the federal standards for lead or copper in water, in pipes, is to even think about it as evil. I think it's evil. It's racist because the pipes in black and brown communities are usually the last ones to get replaced. It's hateful, it's racist, it's fascistic. And we have to tell the congressman to vote no, and oppose any changes, any lowering of the standards. And we have to reach out to other members of Congress. So, please post pictures of this. Tell your friends, tell other people about it, because we need people to call their legislators. And if this congressman doesn't, if he votes yes, we will fight like hell again to get him replaced. We'll fight like hell. And any other legislators who vote for these horrible standards to be reduced, we will fight like hell to get them replaced. When we go home, some of us will write letters to our local newspapers, whether it's Patch or Next Door, or any other kinds of newspapers, big and small. We need to put this out in public that people need to fight. So I want to encourage people who are here and people who see our articles about this in the local press to please get involved. And so thank you everybody for being here together.
Thank you, Paul. And I want to thank everybody for making these great signs. Thank everybody for coming out today on this chilly day. We are here to send a message to Congressman Kean. No lead in our water. We need to replace those pipes, and the last thing we need is to roll it back to the old way. So thank you everybody for coming out today. We have a memo from Food and Water Watch that we're going to be delivering. So I have copies for everyone here, and I wanted to just say to everyone watching, thank you for watching. Please call your congressman. This is going to be a close vote, and we know that if we can move a couple of the Republicans, we will be able to stop this. So we need everybody out there. We're doing these events all over the nation today, and we really thank everybody for taking whatever action you can. So give it up for yourselves, everybody. All right, let's do this.